Hello everyone, I'm Eliza Midi Arandia and I'm from APM 11-5 and now I'm going to tackle about buying and selling, markup and markdown.
And now, before we discuss about the definition of buying and selling, markup and markdown, let's talk about in this discussion, we will learn about buying and selling, finding the markup and markdown, calculating markup rate, and calculating the markdown rate. In this lesson, we are going to learn on how to calculate the markup, markdown, and also the different things that we need to find. And now let's proceed. What is buying? It is an obtained in exchange of payment. Buying is the organized acquisitions of goods and services. And on other side, what is selling? Selling is a transaction where a good or service is being exchanged for money. It also refers to the process of persuading a person or organization to buy something. And let's proceed to the definition of terms. What is markup? Markup is any amount increase on the original price. It's also denoted by MU. And markup rate, denoted by R. Selling price is denoted by S. The formulas for the markup is MU is equal to selling price minus original price, or markup is equal to original price multiplied by markup rate. For the formulas for the markup rate is R is equal to markup divided by the original price multiplied by 100. And the formulas for selling price is equal to original price plus markup. And for the markdown is a reduction on the original price. It is denoted by MD. Markdown rate is denoted by R, and selling price is denoted by S. And for the formulas, original price is equal to selling price plus markdown. For markdown, original price minus selling price. Markdown rate is markdown divided by the original price multiplied by 100. And for the selling price, original price minus markdown. And here are some examples in markup. So now let's proceed to number one problem for the example, number one for the markup. So the problem number one is the original price of a new pair of Puma shoes is 4,500 pesos and the selling price is 5,500 pesos. How much is the markup? So here in the problem, we are going to find the markup. But first, let's find the given. If we go back to the problem, the first given is original price, which is 4,500, and the second given is selling price, which is denoted by S, is equal to 5,500. So we are going to find the markup, and we are using the formula of MU, which is markup is equal to selling price minus original price. And for the solution, which is we're going to use the formula for markup, which is equal to markup is equal to the selling price is 5,500 minus the original price, which is 4,500. So you guys can calculate this to find the answer. So markup is equal to 5,500 minus 4,500 is equal to 1,000. So this is the answer, but we are going to put the peso sign, which is PHP. 1,000 pesos. So this is the final answer for the problem number one, or example number one in markup. Now, let's move on to the example number two for markup. So this is the problem. The markup rate of the car is 60% and the original price is 1,550,000. How much should you sell the car? So in the problem, we are finding the selling price. But first, we are going to find the markup, because if we go straight for solving the selling price, we need a value for markup. But in the problem, there is not a markup, or there are not provided a markup value. So we are going to find first the markup. But first, we are going to find the given. If we go back to the problem, the first given is markup rate or denoted by R. So R is equal to 60%, and we are going to convert it to decimal. So the decimal of the 60% is 0.60, and the second given is original price, which is 1,550,000. And the formula is markup. So MU is equal to original price times markup rate or denoted by R. As I said earlier, we are going to find the markup because this is needed to find the selling price or the value for the selling price. So if we are done for finding the markup, we are going to proceed for finding the selling price. So solution, markup is equal to original price, which is 1,550 pesos. And the markup rate is 0.60. So you guys can calculate this to find the answer on your own. So markup is equal to. So now we are needed a calculator to find the answer in this question. So here, 1,550,000 is multiplied by 0.60 is equal to 930,000. So this is the markup rate, but we are going to put the peso sign, 930,000. So the markup is 930,000. So our given is completed because we find the markup. So let's move on to calculate the selling price for the problem number 2. So if we go back to the problem, we are going to find the selling price here in the number 2. But we are done for finding the markup. So we're going to find the selling price now. So we have a new given. So let's identify. The markup is 930,000. And the markup rate is 60% or 0.60. And the original price is 1,550,000. So for the formula for finding the selling price is selling price, which is denoted by S, is equal to original price plus markup. So solution, selling price. The original price is 1,550,000 plus the markup rate or the MU, which is 930,000. So again, you guys can calculate this to find the answer on your own. So 1,550,000 plus 930,000 is equal to 2,480,000. But again, we are going to, this is the answer, but we are going to put the plus sign because we are dealing with money. So PHP 2,480,000. So we are done for finding the selling price. So this is the final answer for Problem number 2, selling price. It's a little bit long procedure, but if you know how to do this, it is easy, or if you have a calcul, it is more easy for you to solve it on your own. So yeah. So now we are done for the example number 1 and number 2 for the markup. And now let's proceed to the example number 3. And the problem for the example number 3 is, Princess is selling a pair of sandals. The original price of the sandals is 990 pesos, and the selling price is 1,350 pesos. How much is the markup rate? So the so we are going to find the markup rate here in the example number 3. But first, we are going to find the given. So the first given is original price, which is 990 pesos. And the second given is the selling price, which is 1,350 pesos. So the formula is but first we are going to find the markup, because for finding the markup rate, we need to have a value of markup, but in the problem, they didn't provide a value for markup, so we are going to find it. So markup, or denoted by MU, is equal to S for selling price minus the original price. So for the solution, markup is equal to, the selling price is 1,350 pesos minus the original price, which is 990 pesos. So you guys can calculate this to find the answer on your own. So markup is equal to, this is pretty easy, so the answer is 360 pesos. But we are going to put the peso sign, which is PHP, 360 pesos. This is for the value, this for the markup, or the value for the markup. Yeah. Now our given is complete for finding the markup rate. So let's proceed for finding or calculating for the markup rate. So now let's proceed for finding the markup rate in number 3. This is part 2. So we have a new given. So let's identify. The new given is original price, which is 990 pesos, and the markup, which is noted by MU, is equal to 360 pesos, and selling price, which is noted by S, is 1,350 pesos. And the formula for finding the markup rate is R is equal to markup, which is denoted by MU, is divided by original price multiplied or times by 100. So markup rate, for solving markup rate, we're going to use this formula. This is MU, by the way. R is equal to, the markup rate is 360. 360 divided by the original price, which is 990 pesos. So we're going to calculate this first before we're going to times by 100. So you can calculate this, guys, on your own to find the answer. So we are needing a calculator. If you can see, guys, 360 divided by 990 is equal to, yeah, we are going to copy this all because we are dealing with money. So we are going to write it is equal to 0.363636 363. This is also, this value is, we are going to multiply it by 100. So r is equal to, copy this, bring down 0.3636363 multiplied by 100. So r is equal to, you can guys calculate this to find the answer on your own. So 0.363636, if it is visible, 3636, and last number is 3 multiplied by 100. Sorry guys if it's not very visible, so we are going to equal it, and this is the answer, 36.3636, but we are going to write only this 36.36, so 36.36. So guys, we're going to put the percent sign. So guys, this is the final answer for the example number 3 in markup. So I hope that you understand on how to calculate all of those problems. So we're going to move on to the examples for markdown. So after we know how to solve about the markup, we're going to proceed in solving for the markdown. So here in markdown, we are provided 3 examples. But first, let's know the example number 1 and find the answer. So the first question or example is, a merchandise with a selling price of 7,200 pesos is to be sold for 6,711 pesos. Find the markdown. So here in the problem, we are going to find the markdown. So first, we are going to find the given. So the first given in this problem is the original price is equal to 7,200 pesos. And the second given is selling price, which is denoted by S, is equal to 6,711 pesos. So the formula for finding the markdown is MD, or markdown, is equal to original price minus selling price. So for the solution, we are going to find the markdown, and for the solution, MD is equal to original price, which is 7,200 pesos, minus the selling price, 6,711 pesos. As always, you can guys calculate this on your own to find the answer. So MD, markdown, is equal to 7,200 minus 6,711. This is pretty easy. So we're going to write the answer, which is 489 pesos. As always, we're going to write the peso sign of HP. 489 pesos. So this is the value or the answer for finding the markdown. This is the final answer. Alright. So now we are done for the example number 1. So let's proceed to solve for the example number 2. So now that we are done for the example number 1, so let's move on to the example number 2 for the markdown. And The problem here is Rhea has some shirt in her boutique that have not been sold. So she decides to make them down from 750 to 584 pesos. What percentage did she mark them down? So we are going to find the markdown rate. So first, as always, we are going to identify the given. So if we're going to look back for the question here in number 2, the first given is the original price, which is 750 pesos. And the second given is the selling price, which is denoted by S, is equal to 584 pesos. So now we have a given, so let's move on to the formula for finding the markdown rate. So first we are going to find the markdown because we need to find the markdown value first, because if we didn't get the markdown, we didn't get the value for the markdown rate. So first we need to solve for the markdown. So markdown is equal to original price minus the selling price, which is denoted by S. After we calculate, or after we find the value for the MD or markdown, we can proceed to find the value for the markdown rate. So solution is markdown or MD is equal to original price, which is 750 pesos. So we write it, and minus the selling price, which is 584 pesos. So this is pretty easy too. So we are going to write the answer, which is 166 pesos. As always, we are going to write the peso sign. HP is 166 pesos. So this is the markdown. So now we find the markdowns, and our given is complete for finding the markdown rate. So let's proceed to find the markdown rate. So now that our given here in example number 2 is complete, so let's move on to find the markdown rate. So we have a new given, and the new given is markdown, or denoted by MD, is equal to 166 pesos, and the second is original price is equal to 750, and the selling price denoted by S is equal to 584 pesos. And for the formula for finding the markdown rate, which is denoted by R, is equal to MD or markdown is divided by the original price multiplied or times by 100. So now we have a formula. Let's go for the solution. So markdown is 166. So we have to write it, and divided by the original price, which is 750. So as always, guys, you can calculate this on your own to find the answer. So we are going to find it first before we multiply by 100 to make it easy. So we need a calculator to find this. So 166 divided by 750 is equal to 0. We're going to copy all of that. So is equal to 0.221333333. So this is all of the numbers, and these numbers is we're going to write it down. So R is equal to 0.221333333 multiplied or times by 100. So guys, as always, you can calculate this on your own to find the answer. So R is equal to so we are back. So this number, we are going to multiply it by 100. So it equals multiply by 100. So the answer is 22.133333. So but we are going to write the 22.13 only. So the answer is 22.13%. So guys, this is a long procedure, and I hope that you understand it clearly, so you can do it by your own, or it can help you to do the same. So this is the answer. This is the final answer, 22.13%, which is the markdown rate. So now we are done to number 2. So let's proceed for solving for the example number 3. Now let's proceed for the example number 3 in markdown. The problem here in the example number 3 is an old TV model which was marked down at 16% and the original price is 18,379, find the selling price. So here we are finding the selling price, but first we are going to identify the given. And the first given in the problem is the markdown rate, or denoted by R. So R is equal to 16%, or if you convert it into decimal, this is 0.16. And the second given is the original price, which is 18,379. We are finding for the selling price, but we are first going to find the markdown, because we need first the value of the markdown before the value of the selling price, because we didn't get the value of the selling price without the value of the markdown. So the formula to get the markdown is original price is multiplied by markdown rate, or denoted by R. So for the solution, markdown is equal to the original price, which is 18,379, multiplied by our markdown rate, which is 0.16. So markdown is equal to, so as usual guys, you can calculate it on your own to find the answer. So we need a calculator to find the answer here. So this 18,379 is multiplied by 0.16, and the answer is 2,940.64. But we are going to add the plus sign, which is PHP, 2,940.64. So here we are done for finding the markdown. And now that our given is complete, we are going to proceed to the part 2, which is we are going to compute the selling price. So now that our given is complete, we are going to proceed for computing the value of selling price. So now let's identify first the given. So the given is markdown. So markdown is 2,940.64, and the markdown rate, or denoted by R, is equal to 0.16, and the original price is equal to 18,379. So for the formula, we are going to use the selling price is equal to original price minus markdown. So the solution is equal to, the original price is 18,379 minus the markdown is 2,940.64. So as I always said, you can compute it guys by yourself, so you can calculate the answer here. So we are needing a calculator to find the answer. So 18,379 minus 2,940.64 is equals to 15,438.36. So the selling price is here, but we are going to add the peso sign. So 15,438.36. So this is the final answer. Now for the activity, here's the final answer for the number 1 for markup. So the problem for number 1 is the original price of a bouquet of flower is 799 pesos and the selling price is 990 pesos. How much is the markup? So first we're going to identify the given. So the first given here is the original price, which is 799, and the selling price, which is denoted by S, is equal to 990. For the formula, we are going to use the markup because we are finding the markup. So markup is equal to selling price minus the original price. For the solution, markup is equal to the selling price is 990 minus the original price, the 799. So guys, you can calculate this and to know the answer. So 990 minus 799 is equal to 191 pesos. So the markup is 191 pesos. So this is the final answer. This is very basic guys. As long as that you understand and you know the step-by-step process. So this is the final answer for the number 1 in the markup. So if you are correct, then you did a great job. And for the number 2 activity in the markup, the problem here is the original price of jeans is 687 pesos and the selling price is 855 pesos, how much is the markup rate? So here we are going to find the markup rate, but first we are going to find the given. So the first given here is the original price, which is 687 pesos, and the selling price, which is denoted by S, is equal to 855 pesos. For the formula, we are going to first use the markup. As I discussed earlier, we are going to find the markup first to find the markup rate, because we are going to use this to find the markup rate. So the markup rate formula is selling price minus the original price. So for the solution, markup is equal to the selling price 855 pesos minus the original price, which is 687. So you guys can calculate this in advance so you can know the answer. So 855 minus 687 is equal to 168 pesos, or PHP 168 pesos. This is the markup. So after this, we are going to proceed to calculate the value of the markup rate because our given is complete. So let's go to the part 2. So here's the part 2. So we have a new. So now let's proceed for the part 2 for the number 2 activity in the markup. So let's identify the new given here. So the new given here is the markup, which is 168 pesos, and the second is the selling price, which is 855 pesos, and the third is the original price, which is 687 pesos. So the formula that we are going to use this is the markup rate. So markup rate is equals to markup is divided by the original price multiplied or times by 100. So for the solution, markup rate is equal to the markup, which is 168 pesos, divided by the original price, which is 687. So we are going to calculate this first to make it easier. So you can guys calculate this. So 168 divided by 687 is equal to, this is the answer. So we are going to copy all of that. So is equal to 0.244541484. So we are going to bring it down. 0.24451484 times 100. And the final answer is 24.45%. So this is the final answer, guys. If you are correct, then you now understand my topic. So that's the final answer. So we are going to proceed to number 3. Now we are going to proceed to the number 3 activity here in markup. So the problem here is the original price of a brand new cell phone is 20,000. Find the markup of a brand new cell phone if its markup rate is 31%. So we are going to find the markup of the new cell phone. So we are going to identify first the given, and the first given provided here is the original price, which is 20,000, and the second given here is the markup rate, which is noted by R, and the rate is 31%, or converted to decimal, this is 0.31. So the formula that we are going to use is markup, because we are going to find the markup. So markup is equal to the original price multiplied by the markup rate, which is denoted by the R. So markup is equal to the original price, which is 20,000, multiplied by the markup rate, which is 0.31. So markup is equal to 6,000. So the markup, we're going to put the peso sign and 6,000. So this is the final answer. So we are done with the activity for the markup. So if you are perfect, 3/3, then well done. Good job. So now I hope that you understand my topic here for markup. So let's proceed for the activities for markdown. Now let's check that your answer here in the activity for markdown. So the first problem here is, what is the markdown of the computer set with a original price of 28,900 pesos but got sold for 20,342 pesos? So we are going to identify first the given. So the first given provided here is the original price, which is 28,900, and the selling price, which is 20,000, and 342 pesos. So the formula that we are going to use is the markdown, which is denoted by ND. So markdown is the original price minus the selling price, which is denoted by S. So for the solution, markdown is equal to original price, which is 28,900 minus 20,000 and 342. So markdown is equal to 805 8,558 pesos. So we are going to add the PHP because we are dealing with money. So 8,558. So this is the final answer for number 1 activity for markdown. I hope that you are correct because this is very easy. So now let's proceed to the number 2. So here in number 2, the problem is the original price of the cabinet is 9,500 pesos. Find the discount of the cabinet set if the discount rate is 21%. So we are going to find the discount or the markdown. So first we are going to identify the given, and the first given is the original price, as always, is equal to 9,500. The second is the markdown rate, which is known by R, is equal to 21%, or convert into 0.21. And the formula that we're going to use is markdown, because markdown, we're going to find the markdown. So markdown is original price multiplied by the markdown rate, or R. So for the solution, and this equal to the original price, which is the 9,500 multiplied by 0.21. So markdown, the answer here is 1,995. So this is the answer. So we are going to add the PHP 1,995 pesos. And this is the final answer. So I think it is pretty easy. So I think you got the correct answer. I hope so. So yeah, this is the final answer for number 2 question or activity for markdown. So let's proceed to the activity number 3 for the markdown. So now let's proceed for the question or activity number 3 for the markdown. So the problem here is, what is the markdown rate of a bedroom set with the original price of 22,400 but gets sold for 19,555 pesos? So we are going to find the markdown rate in this number. So we are going to identify the given. So the first given is original price, which is 22,400, and the selling price, which is 19,555 pesos. So for the formula, we're going to first find the markdown. As I always said, we're going to first find the markdown because it is needed to find the value. It is first going to find because it is needed to find the value of the markdown rate. So markdown rate is equal to original price minus selling price. So markdown is equal to the original price, which is 22,400, subtract by 19,555. So markdown is equal to 2,845 pesos. So as always, PHP. So this is the markdown. If you are correct, I think you are correct to the part of this. So let's go to the part 2. So now let's proceed for the part 2 of the number 3 answer. So now let's identify the given here. So the new given is markdown. Of course, it is 2,845 pesos, and selling price, which is 19,555, and the original price, which is 22,400. Yan. And for the formula, we are going to use the markdown rate, or denoted by R. So this is markdown divided by the original price, multiply or times by 100. So for the solution, markdown rate is equal to 2,845 divided by the original price, which is 22,400. So we are going to calculate this first to make it more easier. So the answer here is 0.0127000899 and 2. We are going to copy all of the numbers that we are going to see in the calculator because we are dealing with money. Yeah, it is very crucial because we are dealing with money. So we are going to copy all of that. So we are going to bring it down. 0.01270000892, multiply it by 100. So the answer here is 1.27%. So this is the final answer for the activity. I hope that you got a perfect score. If not, then you gotta improve. You can improve that. So this is the final answer. I hope that you learned something, especially mark down and mark up, or finding what we need. So yeah, this is the final answer. I hope that you got a perfect score.
And now our topic is done. Thank you for listening and watching my vlog. I hope that you understand about buying and selling, markup and markdown.